Hello there, everybody. My name's Ayumu Kagami, and this is War of the Human Tanks. ALTeR. This is number 2. Second game in the series. As of right now, War of the Human Tanks number 1 is on sale for 50% off, which makes it $4.99 right now. But this is the second game in the series. It plays very similar to the first one, but it has more that you can expand upon within it. But the gameplay is very similar. So if you have seen the first one and you like that, I'd advise picking up this. There are story elements in this game which are kind of goofy and silly. I'm early in the game, so it may develop much further later on, but it's a lot of goofy, fun stuff. If you like anime and things like that, you will love this. So, to start things off, you have different tanks. Human tanks are humanoid tanks, and they fight for you. So you look at your tanks, and the way that the gameplay takes place is that you have a commanding unit. Right now it's Ururu. And if Ururu dies, game over, man. It's game over! And it seems that everything is done on a one-hit kill. I don't know if there are any tanks that can survive more than one hit, but everything is done just about one hit. There are also different types of characters, or tanks. Command tank, artillery tank for long range. You can see right off to the side for long range cookie. And then you have assault tanks, more range, as you can see down bottom. There are all the stats. I can't point them out because it moves. Shock tanks, basically suicide bombers, and then recon tanks. You can get more tanks as it goes on. You use your supplies to build up the more tanks by assembling tanks. So you can pick them what tanks you need. I probably need a couple of these because I like the assault one. And then there are different upgradable tanks. This one is faster. That's why it costs twice as much. So other recon units. That's all I have right now, early in the game. System is saved and do all that stuff. You can get rid of items, get some supplies. And then with this, there are multiple different ways to progress. It has like a free battle, go to the next episode to progress with the storyline more. Excuse me. But we're just going to do a free battle, and this would be the first episode's first fight. So we'll just start this off. So when it comes to it, this is our formation. This is where we can have tanks. First we have to deploy units. So we have to have a commander unit. We can place her anywhere on here. Typically, better idea to stick her in the back, since if she goes, it's game over, man. So there's a lot of potential strategies that could be thrown into this. As of right now, I'm pretty bad at games like this, so I don't have too many of them done. And we're going to want some recon units, spread out a little bit further. So how many do we have out? Oh, I want to go formation. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So we could have another one. Oh, we've deployed 7. I guess this one doesn't count, or I counted wrong. 3, 3, 7. Yeah, 1 command tank. So I believe that would be 9 max tanks. So we could probably put out 2 more tanks. I'll be fine not doing it. This is a very easy mission. So you can go system to check all those settings, and you can go sortie, which I don't honestly know why sortie means start, but it means start in a lot of things. So it's just my foolishness with it. So I'm going to try to talk fairly quickly, because the game does go fairly quickly. And it goes when units, say, deploy on them. I'm sorry, connect. So, your units have a set amount of movement. This will pause the game. The game does go continually. So you got to keep that in mind. And then each unit has so much time before they are ready to go. And that can be seen over here. There's a lot on the screen, so right off the bat, makes sense if you're a little overwhelmed with it. But, so we can just, this is our suicide bomber, so we don't want to attack recklessly. But we can just have her move out. And then there's also, oh, I forgot to do the recon, so that was my bad. And then we'll recon over here so we get more vision. So we have seen that there is an enemy tank over here. Suicide bomber. And I like these little cutscenes. They're pretty adorable. But that's an example of how it goes. It is basically a one-shot 1 kill. So we can move her up here. And you have to be careful of moving into unknown territory, because now I have to make a choice between the suicide bomber and who would get a chance to go first. So it does have strategy. Basically, everything's a one-shot kill. You see it? It goes. And then if I can actually manage to... Yep! I think we did it. We may be able to save our... We're not. Okay. And another difference in the game is that you can attack spaces where there's nothing there. So, maybe there's a unit there. There's no unit there. So you have to keep that in mind when making moves. And these guys can't really recon, so what we can do is we can throw out attacks. You want to be careful about doing that, because if you just... like that. Worked out wonderfully. We killed them right off the bat. On luck. They can also do that to us, so we have to be careful. We've actually lost our kawaii unit. It's definitely a sad, sad day. And I don't think you want to leave anyone standing for too long in one position, because then they are more apt to be taken down. So we'll have another recon unit move, and do a recon, get some vision. So we have seen an enemy, and then we have our artillery. Artillery can't move a lot, but their range is ginormous. And that's like 1, 2, 3, 4, I don't know, a lot. So it's gonna pop a random shot off. And I don't know if the enemy units actually stay in the same position at all times. So because we've lost sight on that unit, what is her... This may be a very foolish thing. Okay. So she should get the kill, because we've lost sight on the unit. But the unit's still there, because they haven't had another chance to move. But now we've exposed where our commander is, so you have to be cautious of that. Move over here, no vision, recon, no vision. And that was them attacking a random square. So you have to balance out what would be the correct move set to do. Should you go all on the offensive? And then the more units you destroy, the more parts you get. So, unlike a lot of games, and it seems like they're a little foolish at times, because they didn't hit me. But that they don't necessarily... Ooh, okay. Let's they don't necessarily know where you are. They would just be unknown squares. Like, if someone has actually moved around the outside edge, I would be in a lot of trouble. Taking pot shots. And because I've just shot, they see a little indication of where I've shot. I believe that's how it works, at the very least. Recon. I'm actually doing a lot worse than I did on my first time playing this. Artillery strike! Oh man, that is definitely dangerous. So we don't want to be... We don't want to be too exposed. I personally am not the biggest fan of the suicide units, shock troops, but I understand that they can. If I get caught right in the middle, like if I go here and there's 2 enemies, you know, I will take them out. Goodbye, my kawaii friendo. Rest in peace. And that is our victory. So a lot of the gameplay is like that. There's much more strategy going further into the game. So how many have we destroyed, and how many of ours were destroyed? And then our total salvage. I actually got more salvage this time because I killed more units, because the more you kill, the more you get. But obviously you don't want to lose a lot of your units, because the more units you lose, the more money it's going to cost you to come back into the next one. Game does have an autosave feature which works very well. But that's all I'm going to show you. I didn't want to. Actually, I'll click next episode just to show you similar as to what the cutscenes are like. They're very adorable, and it's in Japanese, which I personally like. So flashing lights. But I really like the way the cutscenes are played out. So I'm just cutting that off because I don't want too much music to play. But the game is very Japanese. And it just goes on stills like this, kind of like a visual novel where you just read, you know, click to have it go through. Imperial Main's forces repeat the White Cloister. Meanwhile, no longer pinned down Mine Yahata. And, you know, like I said, it's Japanese, so I sincerely apologize if I'm mispronouncing any names. But we are the warring force of Japon. Not Japan, Japon. J-A-P-O-N. Fighting the Royal Army. And then the characters will pop up with little things. And sometimes they have the silhouette here. And if you scroll, you can quickly go through it. Or if you scroll backwards, in case you accidentally scrolled too far, you can then read everything right here. So if you want to speed run the game, you can just use your scroll wheel. This is what I was talking about, having a... Well, it's not a silhouette, but I didn't really know what to call it. This thing for Son Goku Hongo. So that's how the game goes. I don't want to give too much of the story. This is only around the second mission. I've enjoyed what I've seen. There are a lot of talking scenes in between, especially in the beginning. So that may turn some people off, but give it a chance. Just push through it. It's not that bad. I actually really like them. But I know some people just want to dive immediately into the story, so that's why I wanted to make that known. But thank you very much, everyone, for checking out this video on War of the Human Tanks, ALTeR. I'm probably butchering the name so bad, but thank you very much. There'll be, I think the game is $12.99. I think there's a sale on it, like 10% off. I'm not 100% sure. I forgot to check right before. There'll be a link to the Steam page in the description down below, so definitely check that out. It's a game I'm interested in looking at a little bit more. So thank you very much, everyone, for dropping by. If you did like this video, hit the like button, share it around on the Face, Twitch, Dambligrams, and all that fun stuff, and subscribe if you want to catch more Kagami reviews on games or, you know, other of my contents and such. So thank you very much, and I hope you all have a fantastic night. Bye!